it's not an RC car or RC quadcopter. It's a brand new Fimi Palm Pocket gimbal with a 3-axis stabilized gimbal. It runs a maximum of 4K Ultra HD at 100 megabits per second. Now let's open the box and see what's in the box. And there's nothing in the box but the manual, because I don't do unboxings. You should know that by now. And I'm going to go to the very last page and I'll tell you why. Because it doesn't tell you really a lot in the manual. It tells you the basics, and you do have an app that you can download to your Android phone or your tablet. The app is absolutely excellent. I really like it. So I would download this straight away, because you can control all the functions to the gimbal through the app running Wi-Fi. Let's bring this over. This is a case I got for the gimbal. It can also be used for the DJI Osmo as well. Well, it was made for the DJI Osmo. I'll put a link in the description below to where you can pick it up. And if I can just unzip here and take the cable out, it's a micro USB cable that you get to charge up the battery in the gimbal, which is 1000 milliamp battery, and it's a Type C cable. It says it can run this at 1080p 30 FPS for around 240 minutes, but I've not yet tested that out. First of all, we'll start off with the outside of the gimbal. This is the protective case for the gimbal, and before you turn it on, make sure you take this case off. Right, now it's got dual microphones. You've got a mic here at the front and a mic at the side right here. The main screen is 240 x 240. You can change the aspect ratio of it, and I'll show you how to do that as well. At the side here, it takes a micro SD card. Max SD card it will take is 256 gig. Now let's see what I've put in here. And you want a very high class SD card. The one I've got here is an Extreme Plus, and it's a U3 Class A1. There is an update firmware for this gimbal. There's 3 updates. There's one if it can't update, so through your SD card, and the other 2 updates are for the gimbal and for quality of pictures and some bugs in that. So what you want to do is, first of all, turn your gimbal on, let it initialize, and then put your SD card in. I would format it in the gimbal itself first. After that, power it off, take the SD card out. I'll put a link in the description below to where you can get all the firmware from. I would just drag and drop the gimbal and the quality and the bug fixes. I wouldn't bother much with the SD card one, because I didn't use that one and it's absolutely fine. Drag and drop it into the main folder, not the DCIM folder, but just the main folder. Then after you've done that, what you want to do is turn your gimbal on without the well, of course the SD card not in it. Then once the gimbal is on, put the SD card in. It will say, do you want to update your firmware? And just tap on the screen and say yes. It will turn off and you'll turn it back on, and it will probably want to update the other part of the firmware, because remember, you're updating 2 bits of firmware, the gimbal and bugs and quality as well of the screen and some other stuff. And once that is done, if you think it's stuck at any time, it's not. Just be patient and let it do its thing. Once it's done, that's it. Turn the gimbal off and back on, and you are good to go. Now, you don't get this strap with it, this wrist strap. I picked this up myself, and I highly recommend you get one, because it's small and you could drop it, and you can pick them up cheap anywhere. At the bottom here is your micro USB port where you charge it up, and it's got a rubberized feeling at the bottom, which is great. So it gives it a little bit of stickiness if you put it on the table. You don't get the docking station with it at the moment, and you can get an external mic extension, but I've not seen it yet. So I guess it will be coming out sometime soon. At the back, it's rubberized and it's got a good grip. You've got a screw hole so you can attach it to a tripod, which is absolutely excellent. Now, on and off button and your 5-way joystick right here. The main lens is a 128 degrees ultra high wide angle lens, which is really nice indeed. And the total weight of this gimbal is 120 grams. Now I'm going to turn it on. All you do is press and hold it. What I'm going to do is put it up, just sit it up flat, press and hold it. And there you go, that is it now on, and it's facing forward. At the top here, you've got your power, how much battery life is left. Down here, that controls your ISO and your auto white balance. At the top left hand corner, that's where you change all your settings. So first of all, we'll press here. Now, if you do have oily fingers, sometimes your touch screen is not too good. My son, it works perfect for him, but sometimes I need to tap this quite a lot. Okay, so I'll press it one time, and I've got the ISO. Now I can control that manually by scrolling, like so, or I can just put it on auto mode, and if I click at the top where it says ISO there, and it will change to auto white balance. You can also manually change that from cloudy and sunny, and also put it on automatic as well, which is great. Now to come out of that, all you do is press the screen and everything's on automatic right at the moment. Now if we want to change the camera settings, you press the little camera at the top, and we're at 4K at 30 FPS. You've got 2.7K 60 FPS, 2.7K 30 FPS, 1080p at 60 FPS, 1080p 30 FPS, and 1080p at 30L. But we'll just keep it at 4K. Picture quality is at superfine. You can change it to fine if you want to, and your color, you can change your color to natural or F-log. Your mic, you can turn it high, low, or off, and we're just going to keep it at high and just come out of that just by pressing the button one time. To go on to the photograph mode, all you do is swipe to the right hand side. Now we're in photo mode. As you can see here at the top, it says HDR. We're in high dynamic range, and what you've got another bit here, those three bubbles. If you just press it, it's on natural, and if I swipe to the side, it's on sepia, and if I swipe again, it's on noir. And noir is basically black and white, but we want to go back on in natural and just click on the screen, and that's it. Now to change your camera settings, all you do is press that camera button. It's on HDR at the moment, and you've got your long exposure. Let me just get there. You've got it off at the moment, but you can turn it all the way up to 15, but we'll leave it off. Your aspect ratio, 16.9, 4.3, 1.1. You've got timing, so if you want to time your shot anywhere between 0 and 10 seconds, we're going to put it back down to 0, and you've got your night shot mode. I did take a nighttime picture, but it was a little bit blurred. I'll still put it in the footage that is coming up, okay? There's not a lot of footage, but it's enough, and I'm going to put more up there. Now I'm just going to come out of there, and that's all the settings right there for photograph mode. And if you swipe again at the side, you've got panorama mode. And like I said, this little button, it's all the same settings. You just push here to change settings, push up there to change settings. It's super simple and easy. You've got time-lapse mode, slow motion, and back to video mode again. Now you can move the gimbal by just pushing the stick up, if you can see here. Let me just see on the camera, and to the right, and to the left. But if you want to center the gimbal again, all you do is double tap the red button. 1, 2. There you go, that's it, centered itself. Now, but because we had it at an angle, it centered itself upwards. Now if you press it, double press it while it's flat, it will center itself flat now. If I want to turn the camera towards myself, all I have to do is press the button 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and that's it, turn towards myself right now, and There you go, facial recognition has kicked in. I don't know if you can see that because of the bright light, but it has kicked in. Okay, hello everybody. Right, and I'm going to double tap, treble tap away, and it turned away again. Now your 5-way joystick here, this is what we want to get into. If you long press it one time, that's you in zoom mode, and you can zoom up to 3 times. Okay, let me just bring this a bit closer, you can see. There's Captain America over there. And we're zooming right up to him at 3 times and zooming back out again. Also, when you're in this mode, you can adjust the exposure value by pressing to the right. So you get all the way up to plus 3.0 and all the way down to minus 3.0. And we want to put it back to 0.0. That's it, and you press on the joystick, and that's us back in normal mode, so we can put and move the gimbal around. Now, if you want to play back any of the footage that you have recorded or any of your pictures, just swipe up, and if I go to the left, let me go a wee bit. There you go, and if I press the play button, there you can see it's playing one of the videos. And if I want to pause it, I press pause. If I want to delete it, I press up and press OK to delete. But I don't want to delete that video. And you can also make it your favorite by pressing the love heart, or to come out, just scroll down, and that's you back onto the gimbal. It's simple as that. It's really, really easy to use. Now let's go into the settings menu. All you do is swipe down, and that's us into the settings menu. I don't know why they've put it onto the gimbal part at the minute, because if you swipe to the right, you've got one other options here. You've got Wi-Fi on and off, screen lock, you've got your display 16.9 or full display. I've got it on the full display, and your brightness adjustment. And back onto your gimbal, you've got follow mode. So right now, double tap to straighten that out. There you go. It will just go wherever I go. And if I press it again, you get FPV mode, so it will just move to the side like so. And if I press it again, oops, it just came out of there. If I press it again, you've got pitch lock, sideways. And if I press it again, you've got total gimbal lock. So it will just stay in one position. No matter which way I move it, it will stay in that position. And press it again, and we're back into follow mode. Scroll again to the side, you've got multi-frames, you can change that to wide and small. And you've got your camera settings, let's go into that. You've got JPEG for taking photos, or J+D. Well, let's put it back to JPEG. And you've got metering mode on and off. You've got NTSC or PAL, but I like to use NTSC for better quality. You can record in H.264 or HEVC, but I prefer to record on H.264. And if we swipe again, you get lens dynamic correction. You can turn that on and off. And that's it for those settings. Now, I don't know how you come out of that without pressing this button to go back in again. I've tried swiping each and every way, because we were in the camera settings there. Now we want to go into the gimbal settings. Just press that. You've got your joystick speed, your follow speed, your calibration, and when you calibrate it, make sure it's on a flat surface and you don't move it when it's calibrating. And you can adjust the horizon, and that's it for that. System settings, let's go in there. And you've got power off or on, of course. Your lock screen again, you've got a beep where when you press the record or take a picture, it will beep, and it's rather annoying when you're recording, so turn that off. And you've got boot video. I think that's it will record video as soon as you turn the gimbal on. You've also got how much storage space you've got, and if you tap it, you can format it here, and it can also tell you how much space you've got left. And you get device information, and like I said, my device is up to date with the latest firmware, as you can see. And if you scroll again, it's got your model and your serial number, and you've got your battery info and capacity. Remember, plug this into your computer, 5 volts at 2 amps. If you plug it into a fast charger, you will ruin the battery, okay? You've got your language, you can change your language, and you've reset your device. That is absolutely all your settings for this gimbal. But that's not it, no, because we're going to hook it up to the tablet just now, and we'll have a look at what it's like using the app. And it's really simple indeed. So what I'm going to do is swipe down, swipe to the right, turn on the Wi-Fi, and put the gimbal over here. Now you want to go into your Wi-Fi settings, and you want to wait a minute, and you'll see Palm come up. Now I think the password, if I remember right, is 123456789. So we want to connect to that, and we shall go into the app itself. You've got 3 little lines at the top here. That just tells you basically where you live, but I wouldn't bother about that. We'll enter the device. In the app, you can control everything on the gimbal itself. You can change all the gimbal settings, every single one of them. You can change your resolution, 4K, 2.7K, 1080p. And you can change your video quality, superfine, natural, NTSC, and so on. At the bottom, you've got your cog, where you've got your format, your device information, your Wi-Fi information. What was the Wi-Fi password? It is 123456789. So I got it right in the first time. And at the top here, it tells you how much battery you've got left, how much percent you've got left in your SD card. Over at the right hand corner, you've got turn your microphone on and off, your lens distortion correction, Pro mode on and off, because if you look at the bottom right here, it says auto. If I take Pro mode, automatic will come off. Put Pro mode off, and all your settings are back to automatic. And I can turn the camera around to myself by pressing this button, but because of where the gimbal is sitting just now, I'm going to need to hold it in my hand, and I'm going to turn it around. 1, 2, 3. And you can't see me because of that bright light. Can you see me? The bright lights. Hello everybody. Right, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to set the gimbal back down there, nice and steady. Remember, you don't want anything to hold that gimbal down because there's 2 motors in there, and if you do that, it will break the gimbal. You can, like I said, all the functions are at the side. You can even move the gimbal. Look at that. I'm moving the gimbal with the tablet. I prefer to use the tablet, but it works on my mobile phone absolutely perfect. Like I said, you've got slow motion, you've got everything you need right in the app, right there. Oh, I've got nothing else to say. The app works absolutely flawless for me, and I'm just going to come out of it right now. I'm going to zoom up to Captain America, and I'm going to adjust the exposure because it's far too bright. I'll turn it down just a little bit. Let me have a look. I think minus 1.0 might do it. Just take a picture of Captain America. That's it done, and that'll be up on the screen right now. What I'm going to do is zoom back out now. One thing I did forget to mention is, remember, when you turn the gimbal off, it's not actually off. Look at that. There's a bug. Those motors are still running. So don't do nothing. You'll need to wait until it does this. You'll need to wait until the gimbal flops. We're still waiting. There you go. That's it. That's when you know it's off. I don't know. That must be a bug. And like I said, I don't like this cover at all. It just feels strange. I mean, I'm putting a little bit of pressure on here, and I don't like to put a bit of pressure on a gimbal. You know, it just doesn't feel good at all. But I'll just leave it like that. I'll tell you one thing, this is an absolutely excellent little gimbal, and hooked up to the app as well is brilliant indeed. All of the functions work perfectly, and of course there'll be updates to come. What I'll do is I'll put a link in the description, like I said, to the case, because I would highly recommend that you pick one of these up. And I would highly recommend that you pick one of these up too, because it's an excellent little gimbal. It really is. Small, compact, and it records up to 4K. Like I said, get a little bit of footage up. Not the best, and I'll put some more up when there's a nice sunny day. Never get much. My son did a little bit of walking about with it, you know. But anyway, all links in the description below. All I've got to say now, my friends, is thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, happy flying and happy RCing.
Okay, so here's some of the building. It's cool. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is what you meant, the in shot over there. It's not that beautiful today. Mr. Tree fell down. That's never been like that. It's been derooted. Eh. Ooh, mushrooms. Okay, so he told me to record when I get down. Get some mushrooms.
Now you might be wondering why I'm not out. It's because this weather is unbelievable. Anyway, we're shooting in 4K at 30 FPS. Absolutely wet and cold, and it's been blowing a gale. I'm hoping that the rain will stop, and it has. It keeps coming on and off. What we'll do it, I think we'll just zoom in. One time zoom, two times 2.3. This is at 3 times zoom at 4K FPS. I'm going to drop it down at 2 times zoom. And the rain is beginning to stop. Let's go over to the sun. And we'll bring it down to 1 times zoom. There might be rain on the camera now. I'm getting it on the side of the gimbal. And back to normal. I'm just hoping for a real good day. I really am.